What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today we have a brand new Xur Inventory review from the weekend of July 4th. Happy Independence Day to my American friends, to the 7th. And so, let's get started. Also, guys, there's a special July 4th buy one, get one free event at Advanced GG. Fantastic stuff. Literally just had some this morning before I started recording. So definitely check it out. Link in the description, and use code Kakis to get a discount and support the channel. Everyone wins, guys. And so let's move on to Xur. Alright, let's take a look at what he has. Firstly, for the catalyst, we have the Jotun catalyst. Definitely a pretty big upgrade for the Jotun, adding 2 new perks to it, but Jotun not super meta right now. Not a bad pickup if you do have the Jotun, however. Then we have the Leviathan's Breath catalyst. Extremely big deal. I think Xur sold this recently, but yeah, it's going to actually add Archer's tempo to this weapon. And so you have your heavy bow that hits for a ton of damage. You're going to get even more ammo because of the quiver size. And then also you're going to massively increase your rate of fire with the catalyst. So the amount of DPS, extra DPS you get from this catalyst is crazy good. Now after that, guys, very importantly, Bungie said that the exotics that Xur is selling today, I believe, are going to be a part of the featured exotics in the Edge of Fate. However, I just looked up the list and none of these exotic armor pieces are part of the featured exotics, so Bungie must be talking about something else special on Xur. But first of all, for the Radiant Flux, not a super highly used exotic and also not the best roll here, not too spiky. More mobility and resilience, it's alright. Then we have the Khepri's Horn here. 68 with a massive strength spike is actually quite good. And also recovery, guys. This is actually a really good pickup. In fact, I'm going to grab this while I can. First of all, I made a whole video talking about how really high stat exotics, guys, something like a 68, this is actually better than anything you can get in the Edge of Fate, because the max stats you can get in the Edge of Fate is only a 63. Exotic armor is only classified as a tier 2, not to mention the big recovery spike is exactly what we want because that's changing to the class stat in the Edge of Fate. So you're going to recharge your barricade that obviously this exotic gives solar blasts to more often. So not a super meta exotic right now, but a perfect pickup for the Edge of Fate because this Khepri's Horn is pretty much going to be better than any Khepri's Horn you can get coming in the Edge of Fate. Now after that, we have a 65 Phoenix Protocol here. Again, a little bit on the lower side, but a massive mobility spike is very interesting because mobility is actually changing to the weapon stat next season. So definitely consider this one as well. Then we do have exotic class items being sold. And finally, guys, we have some legendary engrams. Nothing really crazy here. Now, moving on to the... Whoa! Okay! This is what Bungie was talking about when they said something special was coming to Xur to prep for the Edge of Fate. The Choir of One. Now, if this is anything like the Galahorn when it was sold by Xur, this should be available to acquire even if you do not own the episode that this came in. So, which was episode 1. So guys, like if you never bought the first episode, you know, right after the Final Shape expansion and you don't have the Choir of One, rush to Xur. Like this is one of my most used exotics, guys. This is a fantastic exotic. If you hip fire, it's going to shoot like 5 shots at once. It does a ton of damage, and if you don't, it's still fantastic. Now, this is a non-craftable version, unfortunately. So, like when you actually unlock it for crafting, you can put destabilizing rounds on it, making it insane. But this is still like a great pickup for a lot of people out there who don't own the requisite DLC. So they just made this free to play. That is amazing. After that, guys, Queenbreaker, one of the most meta exotics in the entire game right now, does a massive amount of damage with the combat sights equipped. So if for whatever reason you don't have this, pick this up. Like it's ungodly good. Then we have the Hard Light. The Fundamentals perk got a buff, giving this more damage. So Hard Light's actually pretty decent right now. Then we've got the Arbalest, one of the best anti-champion weapons in the entire game, intrinsically anti-barrier, disruption break. Like it is so good against barrier champions. And then we have a Hawkmoon with snapshot sights I don't really want, kind of just okay. Now let's move on from there to the weapons here. A Blood Feud with Tap the Trigger Elemental Capacitor, giving it 100 handling is kind of crazy, but not that good of a roll. Then we've got the Distant Pull here with Tunnel Vision Focus Fury. Not really that amazing. Then we've got the Sympathetic Arsenal, Steady Hands, Brigand's Law. Nope. Then we've got the Pugilist, Head Rush, Briar's Love. Absolutely not. We have a Impulse Amplifier, Cluster Bomb, Code Duello. Nope. And we have the Grave Robber, Pugilist, Planic Stride. Well, this is like a wombo combo of Grave Robber plus Pugilist, right? But not really on a machine gun. That's not where you want it. Then we've got the Flash Counter, Counterattack, Crown Splitter. So definitely a wombo combo for the Strongholds build where you want Flash Counter. But I will say all of these other weapons, except for the Code Duello, are craftable, right? So if you're, the Brigand's Law is actually pretty decent when you get it crafted and it gets Volt Shot and stuff like that, and so is the Briar's Love, actually. So if you're a few away, you can always buy these, use a Deep Sight Harmonizer on them, and then unlock the pattern potentially. So just keep that in mind. After that, for the armor, let's check the rarity of the Veiled Tithes set on Light.gg. Well, this was a fairly new set added in Season 22, and therefore it's also pretty common, with around 53% of Guardians having this very helmet. And because it's a new set, I guarantee it's going to be trash, and I am right. So 56 terrible, 51 terrible, 51 terrible, 57 still terrible. Unfortunately, these new sets, Bungie never ended up fixing the glitch where like the new sets had super low world drop rolls and the old sets had really nice rolls, but regardless, it is what it is. Let's check the Warlock. All right, for the Warlock, let's check the sword here. Thresh Flash Counter, no thank you. And just checking just in case, but it's all garbage. All right, now let's check the Hunter. All right, let's check the Hunter, and first of all, for the sword, I mean, Relentless One for All is actually not terrible, but still, you kind of want Assassin's Blade for the God roll, and yep, it's all garbage. All right, guys, definitely the highlight this week is going to be the Choir of One. If you don't have this, if you never bought the episode, get it now from Xur. Fantastic weapon, huge deal that Xur is selling this, especially because the Choir of One is a featured exotic weapon in the Edge of Fate, meaning you will get the new gear bonus, a damage bonus, when you're using it. Guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, as linked in the description down below. Again, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.